PODCHAST 7. We're going music. We're going music and Mike. Drunk at the airport. That'll be the name of this one. Am I blocking my face? Who cares? Official PODCHAST motto. International side of the airport. So at the very least, English won't affect too many people here. Special edition holiday traveling podcast. I'm currently listening to Small Town Boy by Bronski Beat. So if you really want to get into the spirit, throw that on. And then also try to listen to what I'm saying, because we got some important stuff. This is the first podcast. I've officially outlined some topics. Topic number 1, don't give me cash. What's the amount of money you're comfortable spending on airport alcohol? Because when you get delayed, each delay requires a drink. That should be an American tradition. So I've had 2 delays. We got 3 drinks. So we're hoping for another delay. So I'm right with God. With that being said, topic number 1, lactation rooms. Before we get to that, I was watching some ESPN. Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow. They asked him, have you ever thought about not being a Cincinnati quarterback? And he's like, well, you think about a lot of things. Okay, let's go to psychologist Michael Washburn to interpret that. Does Joe Burrow want to leave Cincinnati? That's basically what their sports news is. It's a frickin' joke. I'm not going to swear, so I don't have to age restrict this video, but what a bunch of crud. Joe Burrow. Good competitor. Anything else in that? No. Topic number 2, which really is topic number 1, lactation suites in airports. Can we just make the official change to call them lactation stations? I'm probably not the first person to point that out, but it's worth repeating until some sort of official change is made. Let's see. Second topic, before we get there, how about I'm going to make a poll. I'm going to do the first ever YouTube poll. Live vote. Do you consume THC before coming to the airport? Yes or no? If so, how much? Do you guys like that extra angst? Do you guys like living in a movie? Go ahead and let your voice be known. Speaking of angst, airports, where's the airport pull-up bars? Give me some sort of outlet. You can't just force me to sit the whole time. I've got 200 milligrams of THC pumping through my veins. You expect me to... No, that's not true, but we're just giving examples, potential examples. We are in Washington, D.C., so I think it's relatively allowed here. Pull-up bars, give me a football sled, something to just pop the sled, roll over, hit the ground, pop up, chopping your feet, pop it. Give me a couple minutes of that. Be a much more enjoyable experience. My best option is just walking around with this 60 pounds of carry-on that I have. I'm ready for I am ready for the entire airport to collapse and needing to survive in an Arctic climate. We're going to change the song. I realize you're probably not hearing music right now, but I am. And that's the vibe of today. Let's go with a little bit of REO Speedwagon. Hell yeah. Topic number 7. What race has the most beautiful babies? This was inspired by my first flight. Yes, babies were crying in my face, but this Indian family just had an all human team of babies. If we needed a representative team of babies for planet Earth, this family would have filled the void. What race has the most beautiful babies? There's a lot of them. Tough to decide. You're like, okay, definitely not white, but even some white babies out there, sometimes they look a little ghoulish, a little veiny in the head. But boy, oh boy. India, Japanese babies, they're pretty dope. All Earth team, who we got? Not all county, not all state. All right, next topic. Santa's in the airport today. Objectively concerning when an elderly man is, this horse has been beat to death, but what's the vouching process? What's the vetting process to be a Santa? We just got a bunch of kids on your lap? A kid better be on the knee. Better be over the shin. That's where the center of mass is. You're getting into here? No. Santa. It's gross. You got guys growing their beard out, winking at kids in the mall like there's some secret going on. That's my knee-jerk reaction, but think about it. For a couple more minutes, like, what do they make in an hour? You're in a mall for 4 hours, $500. Hell yeah. Book out your December. That's your bread and butter. High-paying part-time jobs. That's the future. Refereeing and Santa Claus. I'm sure there's a big overlap there. Keep the beard going. Once it turns white, let it go. That's your money maker. Next topic. Let's see. Is this worth mentioning? Packing to travel. Packing to travel. How much do you pack? I think you gotta get a scale at home. I thought it was 60 pounds. Turns out it's 50 pounds. That's the limit. So I just had to get rid of 10 pounds of stuff, or else I'd pay another $100. That's $10 a pound. That's like a nice roast beef cut. $10 a pound. So we had a couple of old sweaters we didn't need. But go ahead, leave in the comments how you pack. How do you guys pack? Are you getting rid of sweaters first? Next topic. We're flying through this. I skipped a few topics. Let's get back to the Christmas spirit. By the way, this is the longest I've gone without comedy since last Christmas. We're at like 5 days. That's why I'm using this mic. That's why I'm not using the little discreet mic. I just miss the girth in my hand. I just miss this metallic head right in my face. So, Christmas spirit. Don't do comedy now. Gonna go 2 weeks without comedy. That's probably good. Also not gonna go to my church. Not gonna go to my Christmas Mass church in Austin. My church is having a pajama day before Christmas. That seems a little bit sus. Little sus. Having a priest recommending people wear their pajamas. When I was a teacher, we had pajama days, and who in the heck is recommending pajama days? What adult in the room is like, all right, guys, we got 1,000 kids in this building. What should we do? Well, I'd like to see them in their in their jammies. I'd like to see these kids in their jammies. Can we have a pajama week? Is that too much? All right, pajama day. Let's do that on a Thursday. I'm hungover on Fridays. I want to enjoy this. All right, kids, Spirit Week. Jammies. That's what it's. And of course, 14-year-olds, they're going to probably abide by pajama rules. And now we got my church throwing PJ days out there. My church is so small, there's literally one family. There's like 10 people at church. 6 of them are over 95 years old. They just sleep in their normal clothes. They don't have pajamas. They go from wheelchair to bed to wheelchair ad nauseum. So the priest is pretty much talking to the 2 kids. He's pretty much like, all right, congregation, I want to see these kids in their pajamas. Let's get rid of the pajama day. How about that? How about we go ugly sweater day instead? We get it. You're a pedophile. And I'm not talking about our priest. He's a great guy. But just in general. School officials. Oh, you want a pajama day? What for what? Can you answer that question? Ugh. And then you just get these gross teachers wearing fucking no bras. No bras, boxers. Okay, Mr. Moynihan, why do I see a visible penis line right now? Why? Mr. Moynihan, look at me. All right, we're gonna be sitting down today. We're gonna be sitting down all day, except you guys. You guys are gonna be up and around, moving around. What was the first pajama day? The first pajama day? Definitely a hungover principal who's like sleeping in his car. He's like, shit, if I leave now, I'll get to work on time. It's pajama day, guys. Yeah, we're gonna wear the pajamas. Should be called just no. What are women's pajamas? How is that allowed in school/church? All right, pajama day. There we go. Go ahead and comment with your thoughts. Hearing people talk fast in another language while yawning. I don't know if this is a topic or just an observation I made. Again, another Indian family speaking fluent Indian, I presume. And then yawning. All right, maybe we should edit that out. That's not a well-formed idea. Anyway, Muslim Christmas, question mark? I tried Googling Muslim Christmas /holidays, and they don't have many. They do not have a ton. They have like 2. It's like Ramadan and pre-Ramadan, I think it's all about Ramadan. Maybe a couple more holidays when, I'm sure like many other religions, they do partake in some sort of gift giving. Jehovah's Witness, no. They've got the fewest holidays. Next on the list, I believe, Muslim/Islam. I don't know if there's a correlation between number of holidays and number of negative acts in the world. It's not fair to associate negative acts to a particular religion unless, unless sometimes. Maybe it's either all or nothing. Maybe you either need 0 holidays like the Jehovah's. If there's a group I'm worried about in the future, it's going to be those Jehovah's. Young Hoven. Young Hoven, Big Pimpin'. They need some sort of outlet. They need an airport pull-up bar or something. Just blow some steam off. Airport football sled for the muzzies. Next topic. I smiled at people in the airport. I think I was one of 3 people I've seen smile today. So that's a big change in the world that you guys can be making too. Go anywhere and smile. My default face is anger. So you gotta force it. It takes a long time to train yourself to be a person who's not looking pissed off all the time. You fake a smile long enough, it becomes a real smile. I mean, that's just, you could say that about anything. I held a fake smile for 4 days one time. And then a fat kid tripped on the sidewalk and it became a real smile. I don't know if that was the fake smile that caused that. This might be a short podcast. This might be one of the shorter ones. Because we got topics and now we're just going to blow through them. This is coming out pre-Christ. So I hope you guys are ready for some Christmas convos. We touched on this in an earlier episode, which statistically you have not seen. What are some podcast recommended conversation topics? Well, there's 2 routes. You can just go with the sheep. You can just bring up the weather. You can bring up, you can bring up the same story you bring up every year about having to sleep in the airport. No matter what, when you hear those stories from your family, assuming you have family, assuming you celebrate Christ's Mass. Okay, Aunt Debbie, yes, I've heard this story, but you know what? I want to hear it again. That's why I'm here. Okay, that's why I'm not slaving away in Austin doing open mics. There's a reason I'm here, and it's to hear your story about the time your dog sneezed. Tell me, Debbie, as I chug this whiskey. Definitely not a good time to give up drinking. Getting on the plane this morning, I was like, well, this is going to be a nice 2 weeks of sobriety. Going to be a nice time to get in touch with God. This is going to be a very spiritual 2 weeks. First delay. I'll have a double vodka neat, please. You don't have vodka, you just have kerosene. I'll take a neat kerosene, please. Triple neat. Thank you very much. But if you're traveling, at least it's hopefully not your alcohol that you're going to drink. If you're anything like me, you probably had your alcohol schedule timed out for a few weeks where you're like, all right, this will get me right to the airport. And then it's Parasite City on my family members. So that's one route. The other holiday conversation route is you totally come out of left field. Come out of left field. Start bringing up some shit no one knows anything about. For me personally, it's kind of odd animal facts. That's always a good conversation starter. Have you guys seen the video of the... That's your introductory sentence. Have you guys seen the video of the... And then, monkey attacking tigers. Uh, anything. Anything. Unless you have the family member who's like, I've seen that. Yeah. No, that was brutal. That was bad. I don't know. I don't know what kind of family you got. I got a great family. So that's my privilege. That's my white privilege, having a good old family. But I think we're all privileged in the sense we get to celebrate this ceremonious season of celibacy. That's really what this is about. It's about spending time with your family and just accepting the fact that any form of sexual expression is not gonna be ideal. Whether your girlfriend's flying in, whether you're in your high school bedroom, whether you're out getting drunk with the local yokels, let's celebrate celibacy for the birth of Christ. So that pretty much covers your holiday. Pretty much covers your holiday to-do list here. You still have how many days to go to start your Christmas shopping? As of this recording, you have 6 days. So, good luck with that. Good luck pleasing people. Good luck not being self-conscious. And good luck not going deep into debt. I know all three of you are looking forward to that refund check in the spring. You got to hold out. Not all of us can be a mall Santa raking in $600 on a weekend. So I'm going to try to throw in some B-roll here of the airport as we make our final conclusions here on podcast number 7, Airport. All right, well, I'm currently listening to Man Eater by Nelly Furtado if you want to get on my page. But we're going to end it with Christmas Canon 2003 remastered by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, in parentheses, Holiday. To summarize the podcast morals of this week, podcast moral number 1. Talking to you, airport officials. Lactation station. Who's that going to hurt? Who is not going to be pleasantly delighted when they walk by a sign that says lactation station? One day. But until then, we won't be silenced. We won't be censored. We'll continue to speak. And on a side note, maybe some sort of airport gym. Something. Give me something I can do some pull-ups on. Give me something a foam roller. Anything. Give me a foam roller. Would a football sled be ideal? Yes. Would it be nice to put my backpack down? Have an airport official standing on the sled with a whistle? Pop. You just hear in the distance, pop. Like two rams echoing in the mountains. You just hear pop. That's me. That's me in gate B7. Blowing off some baby screaming in my ear steam. Chopping. Hit the deck. Get up. Pop. So. You hear us, airport. Next up, what do we got? Why do we need the list for this? We don't need the list for this. What's the season about? It's about the birth of Jesus Christ, the Messiah. the messianic figure, Son of God. That's really what it's about. And within that, you're going to have to navigate some tricky conversations. So, just stay true to you. You know, if you're a crazy wild card, throw out some weird numbers. Bring up a few videos. If not, chug your kerosene. Laugh at the stories. And you will laugh. Because you're like, this is a caricature of life. And I'm very thankful that it's part of my life. And if you don't celebrate anything, well, don't take it out on the rest of us, okay? Sorry. But I'm going to get fat and drunk and poor. And I don't want you to disrupt that. I'm talking to you, Bondi Beach. Well, until next time. I'll put a playlist that you can listen to as you enjoy Podcast 7 from the Dulles Airport here in Washington, D.C. Thank you, and good evening. Good evening's like a hello for good night. Good night. And God bless, and Godspeed. Farewell. Fare thee well.